Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another moment of Bible study before the Lord. I don't know how we're having a lot of issues when it comes to internet this morning. I guess so. I think I am having issues on internet. So we will be talking about Apt Love today. So it's the beginning of June, a new month. We talked about holiness extensively last month, but this month we are going to be talking more about Apt Love, and one of the things we will, the pattern that we our pattern of Bible study here is usually from the perspective of seeing the provision God has on any particular subject, then seeing what our role is on that particular subject. And in this subject of love, we're going to start with 1 John 3:1. And 1 John 3:1, you know, very simple what is written here. Behold, what manner of love the Father had bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. This is the whole crux of we becoming believers. Someone loved us. John 3:16, that is the anchor verse of every believer. When you get the small New Testament Bible, that is what you get. John 3:16. And the Bible says in John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomsoever believes in him shall not perish. It starts with, for God so loved the world. Then he gave a gift. Last on Friday we talked about the accuser of the brethren. We talked about Job, the role of the accuser of the brethren in Job. We talked about the role of the accuser of the brethren in Zechariah, where he was accusing Joshua. We talked about the role of the accuser of the brethren and the joy in heaven that erupted in heaven when he was cast down, because he had been there accusing the believers, but he was not getting his way, because the believers were overcoming by the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimonies. But before the believers started overcoming by the word of the Lamb and the blood of the testimonies, the accuser was possibly having his way in many ways than not. Then God loved these people so much that he sent someone to advocate for us. Through his blood, we are cleaned. Through his blood, we have new testimonies. Christ in me, the hope of glory, the assurance of glory. That is our new testimony. And it's because of this, this love. And John 3:1 says, 1 John 3:1, for this reason, after procuring a lawyer for this person who possibly did whatever they said he did, this same judge, after going out of his way to procure the same judge, after going out of his way to procure this lawyer and everything, allows the lawyer to help this person who's being defended by the lawyer to speak for themselves also by the testimonies that they have learned from the lawyer, and getting set free. And this is what God has done for us. And we've talked about John 3:16, and we're going to talk from John 15, John 15:12. And John 15:12, and Jesus says, "This is my commandment." Uh, I'm gonna start with 9. He says, as the Father had loved me, so have I loved you. Continue you in my love. If you keep my commandments and shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandment and abide in his love, these things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that you might be full of joy. Sometimes when people go through anxiety and all depression and all the stuff, sometimes we have chosen not to dwell, not to abide. Jesus said it here. This joy will be full in you. As a matter of fact, Corinthians, Paul said that you should concentrate on your work and you should do it very well, so that you'll have no reason to compare yourself with another person, and then your joy will be full. And what happens in our society in recent times is sometimes we go around comparing ourselves, and we go around instead of dwelling and possibly abiding and loving the Lord the way we should ourselves, and we go around instead of dwelling and possibly abiding and loving the Lord the way we should, and loving other people the way we should, without going through the depression they're going through, because they live online. They have no prayer life, nothing. So they are there every single moment, being reminded of how good other people's lives are, and how they have not been able to achieve whatever they want to achieve, and all this stuff. And this comparison comes in play, and those things hit us off. And hear what Jesus is saying, that these things I have spoken unto you, I have spoken about love unto you, that your joy might remain in you. I've spoken about love. I've spoken about dwelling, abiding unto you, so that your joy might remain in you.